Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for joining us for Jamaica Magazine. Between the pages today, we have snippets of last night's town hall meeting.
I don't take the view that St. Thomas should be the forgotten parish. People live here, and the people live here would like to conduct their business in efficient, safe and secure circumstances.
Plus, we give you the details on the much talked about National Identification System. Then later in the show, the Caribbean's first MSME conference kicks off in less than a week. We have the deets on that as well. After this short message, the news, and then we'll delve into those features and others. Stay with us.
Nominations are now open for the 2017 Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence. Persons 15 to 29 years old may apply and be recognized for their work in 11 exciting categories. There's also a Jamaica 55 commemorative category for youth engaged in community-based volunteerism. Access nomination forms by visiting moey.gov.jm, youthjamaica.com, or any youth information center across the island. Nominations close August 31.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 14. Government has opened 2 new restorative justice centers in the corporate area. The Denham Town and Tivoli Gardens restorative justice centers were opened yesterday. They are staffed with trained facilitators and provide a program of intervention, mediation, and resolution for residents in volatile communities.
So, members of Tivoli, this is your opportunity. If any conflict arise, and especially to hold a hand out to Denham Town and let us ease the tension. And that is why we are bringing these centers to you, so that if there are problems, you can utilize them so that peace can reign across these communities and across Jamaica.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says establishing these centers is a strategic move to support the fight against crime and violence.
Providing access to efficient, undelayed, and certain public justice systems is critical to eliminating the space for criminals to set up their own private justice systems. So it is absolutely important when we talk about national security that we provide access to the public justice system.
The Tivoli and Denham Town centers add to facilities that have already opened in Trenchtown and Tower Hill in Kingston and communities in St. Catherine, Clarendon, Westmoreland, and St. James. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging residents of St. Thomas to shun criminals and continue to lower their crime rate.
When you see the criminals start to come here because of the development, run them. Don't take them into your house and take them on as new boyfriend and new girlfriend. Run them. Make sure that your parish remains safe and secure, because that is going to be one of the greatest attractions for investors to come here.
Mr. Holness was speaking Thursday night at the second Hope for Jamaica Town Hall in Morant Bay. Since the start of the year, 10 murders have been recorded in St. Thomas. Work on the 110-kilometer Southern Coastal Highway is projected to start early next year. Communication and Customer Service Manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw, gave the update during Thursday's town hall meeting in Morant Bay. He said an environmental impact assessment report has been done and was being reviewed by the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. Public consultations will begin in the next 60 days. Mr. Shaw also revealed that a cabinet submission was being prepared to acquire land for the widening of the roadway which runs from Harbourview in Kingston to Port Antonio in Portland.
All being well, we expect that China Harbour will be able to show us a final design by December. So realistically, we are looking at early next year insofar as equipment being on the ground is concerned. What you are going to be getting at the end of the day is a vastly improved road network between Harbourview and Port Antonio.
Delinquent motorists are getting the opportunity to pay their fines on outstanding traffic tickets without incurring a penalty or interest through an amnesty scheduled to run from August 2 to October 31. The 3-month amnesty has been provided under the Road Traffic Temporary Ticket Amnesty Bill, which was passed in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. It will affect tickets issued over a more than 6-year period from September 1, 2010 to July 31, 2017. National Security Minister Robert Montego says the measure will give persons an opportunity to clear their driving record before the enactment of the new Road Traffic Act. It also seeks to enhance revenue administration and collection.
Presently, Mr. Speaker, the data shows that the outstanding traffic tickets in the courts total a sum of $2,283,841,900 Jamaican dollars. Additionally, the records of the Inland Revenue Department shows that there is $565,925,300 Jamaican dollars in outstanding tickets as at December 31st, 2016. As such, Mr. Speaker, this amnesty will seek to facilitate the collection of these monies for the public purse.
To ensure the collection of these sums, the National Security Ministry will undertake a public education campaign focused on the target audience. A series of briefing meetings will also be held with key stakeholders. Additional cashier stations and security personnel will be provided at the Tax Administration Jamaica to manage the expected influx of motorists. Minister Montego says during the amnesty, motorists will have the option of contesting their tickets in court. The relevant laws will be suspended to prevent the police from issuing warrants for the arrest of affected traffic ticket holders during the period of amnesty. And finally, Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, says its property tax system has now been updated to reflect the 2017-2018 assessments for strata properties in line with the new rates announced by the Finance Minister in Parliament earlier this year. The strata property assessments are now available on the TAJ's website through the property tax online query when making an online payment, as well as at any tax office. Previously, strata property tax was calculated on the total value of the entire parcel, which meant that the value fell in a higher band and therefore attracted a higher tax. It has been changed to allow for the property tax to be calculated on an individual strata owner's share of the total unimproved value of the parcel. Property owners who object to their valuation or face difficulties making payments can get details on various relief options via a special information hub on the TAJ website at jamaicatax.gov.jm. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down. Observe the rules of the road. Be courteous. Drive defensively. Be considerate. Buckle up. Wear a helmet. The careless overtaker is only rushing to the undertaker. Not observing the rules of the road could cost you your life and that of your loved ones. I encourage all road users to take special care as we use public thoroughfares. The life you save may be your own. Remember, your family wants you to arrive alive.
The Hope for Jamaica Town Hall meeting rolled into the heart of St. Thomas yesterday. See now highlights of Prime Minister Andrew Holness's message to the residents of the parish.
I don't take the view that St. Thomas should be the forgotten parish. People live here, and the people live here would like to conduct their business in efficient, safe, and secure circumstances. Our commitment to create jobs is a serious commitment. You know, I am not a prime minister of announcement. I try not to do too much, but it's almost unavoidable because the nature of our government is that we have to consult, we have to advise, we have to inform, and therefore it means I have to come here and tell you what I am doing. But I like to tell, my greatest pride is to tell you when I've done it. So it gives me great pride to say that between April last year and March this year, we have created 4,000 new jobs in the BPO sector. 4,000 new jobs. And those would mostly be jobs for young people. September coming, with the Port Authority's development of new facilities in Montego Bay, 2,000 new jobs will be created. This is not if, but, or maybe. 2,000 new jobs will be created. By the first quarter of next year, I am told that we will be somewhere close to 5,000 new jobs with the facility we are doing in Portmore. I happen to know, and this is just what the government is doing and what we are certain of will be the take-up with jobs. But the private sector has several other projects going on. And when I did a little totting up of what they are doing, by the first quarter of next year, we are looking at close to another 7,000 new jobs. So I want you to see the picture that the government is working, working, working. As it relates to what will happen here, we have already started to promote the space that is available here for BPO operations. This parish so far has only had 10 murders in the year. Too many, but compared to other parishes, this parish is doing very well. And I want you to take pride in that and keep that crime rate and that murder rate down. When you see the criminals start to come here because of the development, run them. Don't take them into your house and take them on as new boyfriend and new girlfriend. Run them. Make sure that your parish remains safe and secure, because that is going to be one of the greatest attractions for investors to come here.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
It's important to know, with the new identification system, citizens' personal data cannot be accessed by any member of the public. The information will be encrypted and protected. Don't take my word for it. Watch this. The government is moving towards implementing a national identification system NIDS that will become the primary source for identity assurance and verification of all Jamaican citizens. The NIDS will establish a reliable and accurate database and provide each individual with a legal identity. Citizens by birth or persons ordinarily resident in Jamaica will be issued a National Identification Number NIN and a National Identification Card.
A NIN is from cradle to death. Upon death, it is retired in the system, but it is never used again for anyone else.
To receive this card and facilitate the data collection process, persons will be asked to provide key information. Information required includes your name, date of birth, address, email, and phone number. In addition, your photograph and fingerprint will be taken. The biographic and biometric information are mandatory for the identity verification database. However, it's voluntary for individuals to provide information on their place of employment, profession, family status, education, and religion. So what will not be collected?
DNA will not be collected. Let me just mention quickly that financial information will not be collected either. Political affiliation and sexual orientation is omitted, and it states so in the bill.
The following documents will be required where applicable once enrollment begins in September 2018.
If somebody refuses to sign up for the NIS, there won't be a penalty in the sense that there is no punitive measures outlined in the bill that is before Parliament.
The National Identification Card will display your name, nationality, place and date of birth, and address. The card will also bear a unique 9-digit number. The numbers will be randomly selected and bear no relation to your date of birth or sex. The 9 digits are in keeping with the same number of digits in the tax registration number TRN, and also to fit into systems that are already configured to accommodate 9 digits.
We wanted to facilitate a situation where there would not be this enormous retrofitting.
The initial ID is free, and if you do lose your ID, there will be a cost to replace it initially.
The National Identification System will give the government an authoritative position to be able to identify its citizens. It will also provide accurate data for national planning, eliminate multiple government-issued IDs, and create a shared data system within ministries, departments, and agencies of government. NIDS will seek to eliminate multiple identities and identity theft, strengthen immigration and border control, and ensure public and national safety. It will also improve the country's international standing and credibility.
Once we put this in and all of us have our national identification numbers and cards, there is no question who we are. So when you're doing business with an overseas entity or locally, it is giving us as the people of Jamaica and the country far more credibility in the international sphere.
The benefits to citizens are many. In addition to the one ID, one identity, it will enable better delivery of service by the state and the private sector.
If you look at countries who are progressing and are trying to move into the digital age and give better service to their citizens, you have to, as a criteria, have a way of identifying your citizens. For example, how many people need welfare in this particular parish? How many kids need PATH? Is there duplication among people accessing government benefits? Is there a better way of assessing the people in a particular area in terms of are they accessing enough benefits? So that is the idea. So it's a holistic development of doing business, making it easier to do business, giving you a confirmed identity.
And what of the private sector? A key component is that it will support the Know Your Customer requirements for banks and other businesses.
This is going to enhance that tremendously and allow them to have better, be able to negotiate with their correspondent bankers much better.
As for the benefits to the government of Jamaica, this range from efficiency and cost savings to simplified documentation, streamlining of business processes, and facilitating the public sector modernization process.
The project is a national identification system project, but it's going to have a huge positive impact in the re-engineering of a lot of processes within the government of Jamaica, and as a result, make us far more efficient.
But what are the security measures that will be put in place to protect the national identification system? One is that the information captured will be secured and stored on a national civil and identification database. The experts will take it from here.
We are putting in place fit-for-purpose data, security and usage policies. We are also putting in place fit-for-purpose, based on international standards, physical security to protect our data center. Our data, let me say our data will be stored in the Government of Jamaica data center.
So we are spending a lot of money, there's a lot of infrastructure being put in place, and we are ensuring that all access to data is managed, is audited, and is controlled.
The National Identification and Registration Authority Bill NERA, which is now before the House of Representatives, has also included provision for penalties if breaches or abuse of data do occur.
The bill is very clear, and the bill has a section that focuses on the punitive measures that the government will take, up to $4 million and 4 years in prison if you abuse the data, especially for persons working within the database management organization.
Some things you should note are that
access to your data must be initiated by you.
The agencies cannot go on the system and download. You can't browse my information. If I am, my data is on the system, nobody can go and browse on and see what is there. The police cannot access the data without a court order, and that is in the bill. And external agencies and foreign governments cannot just go and access the information.
The Registrar General's Department will be transformed into the new authorized body to administer the National Identification System. The name will be changed to the National Identification and Registration Authority, NERA, and will fall under the Office of the Prime Minister.
The functions of the RGD, that is the civil registry, will continue within NERA, and then NERA also has the responsibility for identity management.
A national rollout of the National Identification System is expected for April 2019.
And we are confident that when the project is implemented, all of our lives will be better and more secure and safer.
As people come onto the system, as the system becomes more trustworthy, as Jamaicans develop more confidence in the system, the policymakers will eventually move to a point where it becomes one ID.
We feel honestly that it's going to be a game changer in a positive way for Jamaica.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
Entrepreneurs from across the Caribbean will converge on Montego Bay, St. James for what is being touted to be the biggest business conference. There, they'll form partnerships to strengthen the region's business sector. Take a look.
Our forefathers, they instituted CARICOM for the business people of the region, for us to do business among ourselves. Leaders of the regional countries, they know each other by first name. The larger business, they have the wherewithal to get around and to do business. We think that it's high time for the small players in the region to get to know each other, to come together and to forge a path for ourselves along with the regional governments to get business among ourselves booming and going. We have the commitment of 3 prime ministers as well already to be there.
Yes.
Out of this conference, we'll be able to have the small business operators from around the region coming together, knowing each other, doing business among ourselves. SBAJ, when we conceptualized this program, we went to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, MICAF, and we have immediate buy-in. They are supporting us. Jamaica National has come on board as the title sponsor. Caribbean Development Bank has come on board with a sizable grant. Regional persons are more enthusiastic about this because the term that uses is God-sent, is God-given. We are in business to make money. If it were for pretty looks, I wouldn't be here. So this will enable you to do better business for your enterprise. So together, each achieve more. There are markets out there. You might not have individually that level of resources to do that marketing promo. We are giving you that opportunity. So buy it up and come to the conference. Meet the people who will cause that to happen. Because we are looking on trading, financing, and policy, as I've said earlier. One of our greatest challenges around the region is the low level of lending that takes place. You can't propel an economy in a meaningful way when there's no facility to facilitate your endeavor. So we are looking on creative ways, and as a part of that, I must tell you that Stock Exchange, Jamaica Stock Exchange, is on board as a partner too. JBDC, JAMPRO, just a couple months ago we have signed an MOU, SBAJ, with the Stock Exchange, because a part of this forward thrust is to get at least 30 of our small and medium enterprise up to competitiveness, or international competitiveness, and we see utilizing the expertise of the Stock Exchange and even up to IPO as a part of that to get them to scale up and to move forward. Intensive 3 days in Montego Bay with regional players.
It is said that nearly 4 million Jamaicans are living outside the country. These Jamaicans can be found in every corner of the globe, making their presence known. Every 2 years, many of them return home to engage on issues of their own development and that of their birth country. 2017 is no different, as this year's Jamaica Diaspora Conference is set for July 23 to 26 at the Jamaica Conference Center in Kingston, under the theme Partnering for Growth. The event brings together diaspora business interests, philanthropic groups, and young people living overseas and in the island. The program has been fully redesigned to breathe new life into the format of the conference and the planned exchanges with participants. If you want to attend, click onto the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade to register. Remember, a collaborative approach among citizens will help to create a Jamaica that is the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. This is where the magazine closes for today. For more television features, visit our YouTube channel. To remain informed on government policies and programs, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. We're also on other social media sites, or you may download our app from the Google Play Store to stay in the know while you're on the go. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.